Now we're going to get into famines, droughts, and storms. As you can see from the word of the Lord in Luke 21:11, he talks about the many famines that would be coming. Now in my book in chapter 5, you'll see the different scriptures here that outline the problems: intense heat, the lack of water. We see, for example, in Revelation 6:6, the measure of wheat for a penny. In other words, when you read your scriptures, you'll find out that people are going to be working all day long for just a quart of wheat. And that shows us that something happened to the crops and the food. And so if we have less crops, the food goes up, becomes more expensive. And we're seeing the high prices of food now. And it also says in Revelation 7 about they shall hunger no more, which means that they were hungry. Neither thirst, so there was a lack of water during the tribulation. Neither shall the sun light on them or any heat. So all of these elements will be pouring down on an unrepented generation during the last days. Now, when we're talking about famines, let's go in. Here's the current news. Party warns of imminent famine in East Sudan. The government inaction will lead to famine in eastern Sudan in the coming days because of the water shortages, poor crops, and spiraling food prices. Everything that I just read to you from chapter 5 of my book, that I outlined all the scriptures that were taken straight out of the Bible. I mean, if you can't see the correlation to what's happening here on those very issues that the Lord told us, I don't know what else to tell you. But it's not just this area. In East, we're talking about the Eastern Sudan and part of the Horn of Africa, but look at all the different nations. It says southern Somalia is at the epicenter of the crisis, but parts of Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Djibouti have also been hit. Now again, remember Revelation 6:6, food prices have surged across Sudan in recent months, with August witnessing the highest rate of inflation in the past 5 years, triggering sporadic protests in Khartoum and elsewhere. Now this isn't the only case here, but let me show you this video about these famines in Africa.
Struck by the mass of it, largest refugee camp in the world. People are just surviving. None of them have any expectation or hope for the future. They can't even really look into the future. One of the women that I'd spoken to had left behind a handicapped child, was traveling with 5 children and a 7-month-old baby, walking for 15 days with 5 children, and she was just unable to really comprehend what had happened to her. We can come in? Basically, I was there as an ambassador of Oxfam, and to hopefully highlight not only the crisis, but also to highlight all of the work that Oxfam is doing and what they're providing for people. Water, sanitation, latrines, basic needs that people must have to survive. I can shine a spotlight on a cause that is perhaps otherwise forgotten. The mass of this crisis was just unbelievably overwhelming. As far as the eye could see, just white tents, nothing but white tents. It doesn't need to be this way. There is enough food in the world to feed everyone. Join the movement, impact your world. Go to cnn.com/.
So there you have, they're talking about the famine and strike, but it's not the only place. You see in this article, North Korea, the heartbreak of North Korea, famine. Again, these are the exact same things that the Lord told us. And in this case for North Korea, they're pouring in money. You see the United States sent $900,000. And, this had to do with a lot of the environment. For example, it says already dire situation in North Korea has been exacerbated by a bitter winter and a summer of record rains and floods. The crops of entire rice fields have been rotted by the torrential rain. So all of these things, the famines, the heat, and the repercussions from all of this problem is identical to what the Lord told us to look for in the last days. And these are all the signs that He is coming soon for His church. And all I can do is stress and stress. Just be ready. Be ready for the Lord to come back at any time.